The Czech Republic is in the World Baseball Classic. This small country with its young baseball program will soon have the chance to compete with some of the world's best. They didn't just come out of nowhere, they were building up to this. Not a good showing in the 2013 WBC. They made a quick exit after falling to Germany 16-1 and to Great Britain 12-5. Big improvement in the qualifier for the 2017 WBC. They started out by losing to Mexico by just one run, then got some revenge beating Germany 15-3. Their last game was another one-run loss, this time to Nicaragua. Last fall in the qualifier for this WBC, they had a disastrous first game, got annihilated by Spain 21-7, but they bounced back with a 7-1 win over France, 8-4 over Germany, and in the final match they were 3-1 winners in a rematch with Spain, earning a spot in the 2023 WBC. Aside from the WBC, they also had a good showing in the Olympic qualifier in 2019. In the 6-team round robin, they were third, losing only to the Netherlands and Italy. In fact, they were the only team to beat Israel, the team that qualified for the Olympics. For the WBC, they'll be in Pool B with Japan, Korea, Australia, and China. The teams in this pool play on very different levels. Japan and Korea are way above the Czech Republic's level. A win over one of those two teams is out of the question. The first game will be against China, and that's a winnable one. Australia is quite a bit above their level, but the Czech team might be able to surprise everyone and make a good game of it. No active Major League players on their roster, only one ex-Major League player, a few that were recently in the minors, and almost every player on the roster plays in the country's own domestic league, Czech Baseball Extraliga. The top players in Extraliga are often former minor league players who reached various levels. The league as a whole is maybe on par with a low minor league level, like lower than low single A, higher than the rookie level. Maybe. Here's who they're bringing, starting with pitchers. Marek Minarik pitched in the Major League system from 2011 to 2015 as a Phillies and Pirates prospect. The highest he got was low single A Jamestown, where he tossed 37 innings, mostly as a starter, with an ERA of 4.86. Now he pitches in Extraliga. In 2022, he made 11 starts, 52 Ks in 39 2/3 innings, ERA 3.63, WHIP 11.34. Left-hander Lucas Ercoli. Last year in Extraliga, he started 16 games, 98 innings, 104 strikeouts, ERA 2.29, WHIP 10.38. Top 5 in all the pitchers' Triple Crown categories. Martin Schneider made 10 relief appearances in Extraliga last year, 19 innings, 22 Ks, ERA 1.42, WHIP 8.95. He's best known for getting the start in the final qualifier game and being the winning pitcher. 22-year-old Daniel Petisak is a senior at Charleston Southern University. So far this year, he's struck out 7 batters through 6 scoreless innings in 2 games. He also played for the Savannah Bananas last summer, where he made 6 starts, 24 innings with an ERA of 2.96. That will probably be their starting rotation, 3 of the best from the Czech League, 1 good college pitcher, and 1 ex-minor leaguer. It appears to be a little stronger than China's rotation, but of course doesn't measure up to the other 3 teams. If they want to lose their games respectively and avoid the mercy rule, they'll probably have to dig deep into their bullpen. Jeff Bartow played college ball at Utah Valley State a decade ago. Last year in Extraliga, he pitched in 13 games, 35 innings, 33 Ks, ERA 2.57, WHIP 12.57. John Novak is a former Orioles prospect, played 2 years in the Rookie League back in 2014 and 2015. In his last year there, he made 18 relief appearances with an ERA of 4.21. Last year in Extraliga, he only made 3 appearances, but 2 years ago he struck out 92 batters in 72 innings, ERA 1.38, WHIP 9.86. 24-year-old Philip Kepka made 17 starts in Extraliga last year, 101 innings, 106 strikeouts, second most in the league, ERA 3.73, WHIP 13.72, and a win-loss record of 11-3. Thomas Duffek, 15 starts, 92 innings, 88 strikeouts, ERA 4.10, WHIP 13.87. 22-year-old Lucas Lauch, 9 games, 22 innings, 22 Ks, ERA 3.27, WHIP 11.82. Andre Sartoria, 16 games, 80 innings, 56 strikeouts, ERA 3.57, WHIP 11.77. Jake Rabinowitz, 14 games, 70 innings, 69 Ks, ERA 4.63, WHIP 17.14. John Tomek pitched in the Dutch League back in 2017, had a 0.84 ERA in 10 2/3 innings of relief. He last pitched in Extraliga back in 2015 when he was one of the league's top pitchers, but don't know what he's done since then. 19-year-old Michal Kovala has played in just 10 games over 3 years in Extraliga, 16 innings, 17 Ks, ERA 4.50, WHIP 16.25. 21-year-old David Mergens did not play in Extraliga last year. In 2021, he pitched in 20 games, 70 innings, ERA 191, WHIP 1103. Hard to tell how those Extraliga stats will translate into WBC play. The only experience outside of the Czech league among relievers is one pitcher who was in the minors 8 years ago, and another who played college ball 10 years ago. Their bullpen might surprise us, but I wouldn't count on it. Let's look at the hitters. In the outfield, they've got Marek Kloop, a senior at North Greenville University. He has been dominating at the plate there this year. 12 games, 5 home runs, hitting .528, .614, .1083. He played his first 2 years at NC State before transferring to North Greenville. Center fielder Arnas Dubovi played in 40 Extra League games in 2022, /373, .456, .530 with 7 steals. Matej Menzik, 21 games, 7 home runs, 7 steals, .411, .522, .822, third in the league in batting. Jakub Grapel, 31 games, 11 stolen bases, .325, .397, .470. Marek Kreiserik, 44 games, 8 steals, .250, .425, .318. He averaged almost a walk per game. In the infield, there's Erik Sogard, their one player with major league experience. He's American but also now a Czech citizen. He played over 800 games in MLB from 2010 to 2021. In his last season 2 years ago, he slashed .249, .283, .314 in 78 games. He twice reached double digits in home runs and steals. He played mostly at second, a little at third, and short. Wojciech Menzik, he played 3 years at NC State, then in 2022 played in the Angels organization at Single A Inland Empire. 54 games, 15 stolen bases. Line was .214, .356, .264. He could get on base and steal bases, but it wasn't enough. The Angels let him go. He played at third most of the time, a little at second and short. 24-year-old William Escala played at Miami of Ohio last year. 56 games, 18 stolen bases, 14 doubles, .275, .336, .401. Plays at short most of the time, a little at second and third. 25-year-old Philip Smola, a left-handed hitter, played at Charleston University in 2020 and 2021. Didn't play much, only 27 games over the 2 seasons, with a .177 average. In Extraliga last year, his line was .314, .410, .569, with 10 home runs in 38 games. That was the second highest home run total in the league. Petr Zima was a college ball player a decade ago, 1 year for Creighton, the next year for Southwest Oklahoma State. In 40 Extraliga games last year, he hit .258, .374, .351. Jakub Hastmar was a Twins prospect way back in 2008, batted .247 in 33 games at the rookie level. Last year in Extraliga, 44 games, .306, .430, .442 with 17 stolen bases, one behind the league leader in steals. 24-year-old left-handed batter Jakub Kubica, last year in Extraliga, 37 games, hit .338, .452, .381, plays third and short. Martin Muzik hit 6 homers and stole 6 bases in only 20 games. He hit .358, .444, .701. The year before, he played a full season, 13 homers, 19 steals, and about the same slash numbers. 20-year-old second baseman Milan Prokop, 2022 numbers, 32 games, 6 for 6 in stolen base attempts, .236, .339, .377. At catcher, they have Martin Cervenka, an MLB prospect for 11 seasons. He came really close to being the first born and raised Czech player to reach the major league level. In 2019, he played in 12 games at AAA Norfolk, slashing .372, .438, .442. He returned to AAA in Syracuse in 2021, but it didn't go so well this time. 72 games, 7 home runs, with a line of .183, .280, .344. Last summer in Extraliga, he just missed out on the Triple Crown, leading the league with 15 home runs and 49 RBI, second in batting at .424. On-base percentage .548, slugging .821. Also stole 15 bases. One more catcher, Daniel Vavrusa. Back in 2012, he played in the Dominican Summer League as part of the Yankees organization. His last full Extraliga season was 2020, 31 games with a line of .368, .452, .544. Then he only played in 3 games in 2021 and didn't play at all last year. And that's what they're bringing, a guy who played in MLB just a couple years ago, another who played in AAA a couple years ago, one that played Single A last year, one who's been tearing it up in a U.S. college this year, and the best from the Czech League. That definitely can't match what Japan and Korea are bringing. Comes up a little short compared to Australia, but it's much better than what China will have. Pitching is not so certain though. We don't know how pitchers from the Czech League will perform in the WBC. Not much experience outside of the Czech League recently on their pitching staff. Here's what their starting lineup might look like. Their goal for this tournament is to win their first WBC game and automatically qualify for the next WBC. They should be able to do that. At least on paper, this team looks quite a bit better than China. No chance against Japan and Korea. An upset over Australia is possible. Not very likely, but the Czechs have an outside chance to take down the Australian team and finish third, and that would be the ultimate success story for this team. But I would only give them a 10% chance of beating Australia, 0 chance of advancing, and of course they'll be content with just a win over China, and I think they'll get it. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That's all for this one, and until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya!